and happy July 4th, Independence Day, Bitcoin Freedom Day. Let freedom reign. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as we're currently correcting. We'll also be discussing how low the Bitcoin price action is likely to go. We'll also be discussing Justin Sun offers to buy German government's 2.3 billion Bitcoin stack to minimize the market impact, as most likely the current carnage is a result to the German government offloading their biddies. We'll also be discussing Russia looking at using stablecoins for international payments. Russian state media, according to them at least, will also be discussing Bitcoin to $10 million easily, according to Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki. We're also going to be discussing Trump sparks talks of Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. This was just published yesterday from Forbes. Max Keiser responded, as predicted back in 2019 when I coined the term global hash war to describe nations switching from trying to ban Bitcoin to hoarding Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. So with that being shared, family, let's kick it off, shall we? If you're new to the channel, it's very important to smash those likes, subscribe to Number One Day of the Bitcoin Pod, live each and every day, 7 days a week. Also hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications is greatly appreciated. Also, if you can repost this over on X alongside Max Keiser and the rest of the Crypto News Alerts fam here, we'll get more eyeballs on the stream. It's always greatly appreciated. Today is pod episode number 1690. I'm your host, JV, and it's July 4th, 2024. Market is correcting. We'll kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. We got Bitcoin maintaining above 58,000. We did tap already 57,000 this morning, maybe even the high 56s, depending upon the exchange. We also have Ether correcting back down to 3,100. All the major alts correcting and in the red. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. We're currently sitting on a 2.14 trillion market cap with 53.8% Bitcoin dominance. Since they updated their site, they make it difficult to see all that data. I don't know why that is, but as soon as you refresh it, it shows it for a split second and then it disappears. Hence why I have to do that, just FYI. But I digress. Checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours. We got Pendle up 2.5%, EGLD up 1%, and the rest of the market doing nothing as the majority of the market is correcting. And in the red, which altcoins are y'all most bullish on for this particular bull, if any? Let me know, and I'll read those comments out loud here in a bit. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the daily. Virtually everything in the red and correcting. Pretty significant gains. Naturally, Bitcoin maintains its value the best. Hence, there is only one king. And zooming out on the monthly to get a broader perspective, unfortunately, it's the same story, but even deeper losses. Some of these alts down 30, 40, 50 plus %. Wow, right? But anyways, checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're currently rated a 44 fear. Yesterday, a 50. Last week, a 40. And last month, a 73 in greed. So there you have it, my crypto La Familia. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Do you think we'll continue to correct, continue to trade sideways, or do you think we're going to pump like a coiled spring? Holla, let me know. Anyways, fam, let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis, aka astrology for the broskies, and we'll be discussing why the Bitcoin price is down today. I think it's because the German government is dumping its Bitcoin holdings, most likely. Today's price drop appears against the backdrop of the German government transferring 172 milli worth of Bitcoin to the crypto exchanges, notably on July 4th, out of all days out of the year. Do you think this was orchestrated with the U.S. government, family? Let me know. A crypto wallet linked to the German government transferred 1,300 biddies to Coinbase, Kraken, and Bitstamp, according to blockchain investigator PeckShield Alert. The same wallet sent an additional 1,700 biddies to a different address, as outlined right there from PeckShield. And in the past 2 weeks, the German government transferred over 3,000 biddies to multiple exchanges, indicating its intention to sell these assets. And FYI, if you're new to the stream, I often refer to Bitcoin as biddies. So if you don't know, now you know. Before the first transfer, the wallet held nearly 50,000 biddies since February 2024. These funds are believed to have been seized from the pirate movie website operator, Movie 2K. The influx of Bitcoin into the market contributed to increased selling pressure, causing the Bitcoin price to decline by approximately 15%. The large volume of the Bitcoin entering the exchanges often signals potential sell-offs, leading to decreased market confidence and pressuring Bitcoin price lower in recent days. Now, today's Bitcoin price decline is further exacerbated by signs that Mt. Gox is moving closer to reimbursing its creditors with over 140,000 biddies worth approximately $8.5 billion. And according to the data from Arkham Intelligence, several wallets linked to Mt. Gox made minor Bitcoin transfers earlier today, marking their first activity in a week. Some of the Bitcoin was sent to a wallet belonging to BitBank, one of the exchanges selected to manage the Mt. Gox creditor repayments. These transactions involve 3 wallets connected to the defunct exchange, with the largest transfer being approximately $24. Now, if that's accurate, that's obviously not much of a transfer, but that could be a typo. Who knows? As it appears, these transactions could be in test and preparation for a substantial Bitcoin. Oh, okay, that would make sense. Maybe test payments before they start repaying the 127,000 creditors later this month in July. And interestingly, these creditors have been awaiting reimbursement for 10 years or more, during which the Bitcoin price surged by more than 10,000%. Not too shabby. The fear of this additional Bitcoin supply witnessing sell-offs immediately upon entering circulation entered downwards pressure on the market. Now, Bitcoin's price decline today accelerated further due to the massive liquidations along positions in the Bitcoin futures market. Notably, the market witnessed over 100 million in long liquidations in the past 24 hours, compared to 15 million in short liquidations. Long liquidations occur when traders are forced to sell their assets to exit their long positions, which increases the selling pressure in an already bearish market. And interestingly, the wipeout of long positions coincides with a decline in the Bitcoin futures open interest and funding rates. As of today, July 4th, the total number of the Biddies open interest contracts were 31 billion, down from 33 billion a day ago. Meanwhile, its funding rate dipped from 0.21% per week to 0.12% per week. The decrease in funding rates and the open interest suggests that the traders are stepping back from taking new risks, reflecting a more cautious market outlook. Once the market absorbs the selling pressure and liquidations, it may enter a stabilization phase with lower volatility. And before I pull up some of the live charts, I want to show you the historic price actions on July 4th, dating back to 2013, when a Bitcoin was only 80 bucks, 2014, 630 bucks, 2015, 260 bucks, 2016, $283, 2017, the year I got into Bitcoin on 4th of July, was 2,600. In 2018, it was 6,500. In 2019, 11,000. In 2020, 9,000. In 2021, 35,000. In 2022, 19,000. 2023, 30,000. In 2024, lo and behold, 58,600. We are up literally $28,000 from this time last year. I consider that a blessing. So thank you, God. And checking out some of the live chart action brought to you by TradingView via Coinbase. We're looking at the 1 month chart. Let me switch the scene up so you can see it better. There you go. You can see we're currently looking extremely bullish overall. They say when in doubt, just zoom out. And the monthly chart looking bullish as all hell. Let's not forget we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive green candles, followed by that red candle, itty bitty green, itty bitty red, and where we're currently at. And let's zoom in on the weekly, and we'll continue zooming in so you can get different perspectives. So yeah, that was the 1 month. Here's the 1 week. And I'm going to also be sharing with you some of the targets outlined on the charts. We do have a bullish pennant breakout sitting at roughly 90,000. And we also have one sitting all the way up at 106,000. Send it and let's go. And zooming in a little more. So that's the 1 week. We'll look at the 1 day chart. As you can see right here on your screen. Wow, a lot of action happening live and in the flesh right now. The target most bullish right now is a bullish pennant at 106 G's. We do have an orange target sitting at 89,000, and we have a red target sitting at 73.4. The current all-time high is 73.8, which we achieved mid-March. So again, keep that in mind. And then, of course, we do have a bunch of bottom targets going all the way down to the $40,000 range. And again, this is on the one-day chart, family. Let's zoom in a little bit more and let's check out the 4-hour chart. We do got some price action here. Overall, it's kind of been sideways, but descending most definitely. We do have an orange target sitting all the way at 89,000. Send it. And we do have another target in the red. You can see on your screen sitting at 73.2. And we do have a target to the south sitting all the way down at $40,000. And we're going to look at one more. We'll look at the 1-hour chart here for you guys. And looking at the price action here, we do got that big fat red target sitting at 72, which would take us close back to price discovery. And again, the more we zoom in, the more bearish the charts are going to look. So that's about it, family. Let me know where you feel the Bitcoin price action will likely take us next and throughout this month of July. Happy 4th of July. Let's move on to our next story of the day. Let's discuss a potential $50,000 bottom. In fact, as analysts is giving a warning, warning. So here you go. Bitcoin will crash to 50 G's, says 10x Research. So let's break this down before we get into the bullishness. According to experts at 10x Research, Bitcoin is poised to fall below 57 G's from over 60,000 July 4th. They suggest this sharp decline may just be the beginning, potentially dropping further to 50,000. Breaking the psychological 60,000 benchmark towards 50 G's marks a significant shift in market sentiment, which 10x Research attributes to the buy flows drying up. And now Marcus Thielen, analyst at 10x, suggests that the downward spiral was foreseeable. Quoting him here, our data from early June already hinted at an overbought market ripe for correction. The sudden 5.4% fall in Bitcoin price substantially impacted investor sentiment and market liquidity, reflected in Bitcoin's 1.1 billion market cap and 57% increase in trading volume. By breaking the key level for the Bitcoin miners and spot Bitcoin ETF buyers, the 10x Research report foresaw that the price decline could accelerate as support gets broken and the sellers scramble to find liquidity. The sell-off coincides with the anticipated Mt. Gox repayments of $8.5 billion worth of BTC, which were set to begin in July. And we'll be discussing this a little deeper, including Justin Sun wanting to buy the biddies from the German government to stop the bleeding in the market. And according to the 10x Research report, having broken the 60,000 level, only the ill-informed traders are willing to buy here. Now, the 10x Research report maintains a cautious outlook for the price of the biddies, advising the traders to prioritize risk management and preparation for continued volatility. And what do we call volatility? Life force. We warned that this was not the time to be complacent. According to the research report, and according to the recent analysis from IT Tech, the downwards trend is attributed to long-term hodlers cashing in on substantial profits. On July 3rd, the spent output profit ratio from the long-term hodlers exceeded a value of 10, indicating the Bitcoin price was sold for at least 10 times the initial purchase price, or Bitcoin in general there. And according to the analysis, the long-term hodlers, where my long-term hodlers at, diamond hands, laser eyes, make some noise, who typically retain their holdings for roughly 5 years to 7 years, have contributed to the selling pressure in the market. Now, in my humble opinion, you gotta be a fool to be selling your biddies at a time like this in the market. But hey, that's just me. Teach their own. But anyways, next story of the day. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. Pump the likes, pump the stream. Repost this, spread the word, and happy 4th of July celebration day. Happy birthday, America. Let's go. Next headline reads, Justin Sun offers to buy the German government's 2.3 billion Bitcoin stack to minimize market impact. Let's go. That's right. Tron founder, JC's Tron, that is, Justin Sun offered to buy the German government's Bitcoin holdings worth 2.3 billion. The popular crypto founder said he potentially is willing to purchase Bitcoin off market to reduce the negative price impact of the selling. But mark my words, the government does not want that. I think they're purposely dumping specifically to crash the price of Bitcoin. So Justin Sun comes in and says, hey, let me stop the carnage of the market, protect the market. I'll take those biddies off your hand. In fact, here's what he shared on his July 4th post on X to 3.5 million followers. I am willing to negotiate with the German government to purchase all Bitcoin off market in order to minimize the impact on the market. Respect to Justin Sun. But unfortunately, I don't think the German government cares or gives 2, Satoshis regarding crashing the market. I think that's their intention, but hey, that's just me. The German government labeled wallet first raised suspicions of Bitcoin selling June 19th with an executed transfer of 6,500 BTC valued at 425 milli. Market selling the remaining holdings could have a negative impact, obviously, on the Bitcoin price, which is why the wallet became a hot topic amongst traders. And before the first trade, the wallet held nearly 50,000 BTC since February of this year. The funds are believed to have been seized from the pirate movie website operator Movie2K. Now, the crypto wallet was tagged by Arkham Intelligence platform as a German government, which refers to the country's federal criminal police office. Now, this police office seized 50,000 BTC in Dresden back in January from the pirate movie website operator Movie2K, which is believed to be the originator of these funds. And while it's not yet clear which authority is selling the Bitcoin, the authority spokesperson confirmed that the criminal unit does not hold the seized Bitcoin. Interestingly, here's what the spokeswoman shared. In principle, the sale or conversion of seized Bitcoin into euros is the responsibility of the relevant public prosecutor's office or court. The proceeds of seized assets are paid to the Land Revenue Office of the place where the competent court has its seat. In accordance with Article 60 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, the BKA only preserves crypto assets seized or confiscated in the course of investigations for the public prosecutor's offices. The German government labeled wallet had been continually selling biddies since the middle of June. And in the latest transfer, today, July 4th of July, the wallet transferred 172 milli worth of the biddies to multiple crypto exchanges. Part of it's going to 3 centralized crypto exchanges. The total of 75 milli worth of Bitcoin was transferred to Coinbase, Kraken, and Bitstamp, suggesting that the wallet is potentially, obviously, looking to sell. And 2 days earlier, July 2nd, the German government tagged wallet transfers of 52 million worth of BTC, 100 BTC, of which was sent to Coinbase, 150 BTC to Bitstamp, and 32 BTC to the Kraken exchange. So let's get it crack-a-lagging. But anyways, family, what are your thoughts on some of that? Justin Sun potentially stopping the carnage of the market. Do you think the government will take him up on that offer? I bet you the United States government, Gary Gensler, chairman of the SEC, is probably speaking to the German government. Don't listen to Justin Sun. We want you to crash the market. Just continue to sell, please. But I digress. Let's discuss the latest with Russia. Now that we discussed the German government dumping mass amounts of BTC, Russia looking at using stable coins for international payments, according to the Russian state media. That's right. Russia is reportedly considering using stable coins to make international payments, according to the media. According to the report by Russian state publication Izvestia, Russia is looking to legalize the use of stables to make cross-border payments. The report didn't mention what type of stables the Russian government is considering. We all know the largest one out there in existence, Tether USDT. Now, the deputy chairman of Russia's central bank, Alexei, told Izvestia that the proposals to legalize stables has been formulated and discussed since 2023, last year. And according to him, regulators and regulations will likely need to be tightened to protect the nation's interests. Quoting Guznov, understanding is still being formed, and I hope that in the near future it will result in the text of the bill. Now, Alexander Muryshev, executive VP of the Russian Union of Industrialists and entrepreneurs, told Izvestia that the stable coins will not only add a large amount of liquidity to the markets, they would also thrive as settlement tools for other BRICS nations. BRICS. Let's go. BRICS is an economic alliance between several nations such as Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and many other countries now. In March 2024, President Vladimir Putin signed a law that allows the use of digital financial assets or digital representations of contract rights that can be exchanged for international payments. Now, Muryshev says that the businesses have had difficulty using the DFAs due to the risks of secondary sanctions. However, Natalia Milchakova, leading analyst in Freedom Financial Global, tells the publication that the firms would not have such troubles with stables as they would allow anyone to make settlements with sanctioned individuals with no fear of secondary sanctions. So there you have it, yo. The whole entire world looking to get off that US dollar, if you see what I'm saying here, especially with the BRICS movement, Russia, and many other countries coming together to form an alliance to do just that. Shout out Mr. Bone Daddy, just gifted 5 memberships of the channel. Shout out all the new members: Jerome Smith, Bitcoin Stew, Terrell Truss, Andy Markowitz, and Web City USA. You've all been hooked up with the MicroStrategy membership of the channel. Please show Mr. Bone Daddy some love. We greatly appreciate all the support, and we appreciate all of our members, which have that nice icon next to the name. That shows your support and loyalty to the channel, and we appreciate it, family. Thank you. Let's go. Anyways, fam, let's discuss this $10 million easy Bitcoin price prediction by Rich Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. Then we'll discuss the latest with the global hash wars, with Trump in the United States potentially making Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset, followed by some live Q&A. Happy July 4th, fam. Make some noise, pump the likes, pump the stream, repost this, spread the word. Let's get it. So yeah, this headline reads, Bitcoin at 10 milli. Rich Dad Poor Dad Robert Kiyosaki says, I'm going to start with the infamous tweet in which he shared 22 hours ago. He wrote, boom, going bust. Could make a song out of that. Boom, going bust. Boom, going bust. Technical charts indicate the biggest crash in history coming. Prices of real estate, stocks, bonds, gold, silver, and Bitcoin crash. Great news. Good time to buy. Bargains will follow. Technical charts indicate major long-term bull market cycle will follow, starting with a bull market climb in late 2025, raising prices for years. This bull market cycle is the boom gold silver and Bitcoin investors have been waiting for. Preach. Their patience will be rewarded. This is the long-term bull market cycle they knew had to come. They know it had to come because the U.S. is the biggest debtor nation in history. And notice the word history is his story. His story. They know this long cycle bull market is coming because they know faith and confidence in fake money is dissolving. Preach. They know history will repeat. Tell them. They know what happens to Germany's... Man, I'm bad at pronouncing German words, but I'm going to try. What happened to Germany's Reichsmark and Zimbabwe dollar? They know more and more people are finally waking up. They know after the crash, the long cycle bull market for gold, silver, and Bitcoin will begin. They know after the crash, gold, silver, Bitcoin will once again begin climbing to hit all-time highs in this piece. Gold possibly 15,000 an ounce. So what's the prospects on that? If gold is currently 2,000 an ounce, he's ultimately saying the price of gold can potentially 7x. Now silver, possibly $110 an ounce. Can someone run the math, or where are we at currently on an ounce of silver? Because I have no idea. And then he says Bitcoin easily to 10 million per coin. One thing I know for certain, there's a lot more upside potential for Bitcoin to hit 10 million per coin from 50 to 60,000 than from 2,000 an ounce of gold to 7x to 15,000. Am I right or am I right? Yes or yes? Let me know. They know to be patient. They know their time has arrived. Take care. Now, shout out to Kiyosaki. I'm with him on that. $10 million biddy sounds sexy to me. I believe it will happen in our lifetime. In fact, I think we can 10x that in our lifetime. I think one day during our life, Bitcoin will hit 100 million per coin, which is ultimately 10x what he just shared here very boldly. But let me know your thoughts. I'm going to read you a little deeper into the story from this article, which just was published from the back of the tweet I just read from Mr. Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki, who issued the epic new prediction regarding the Bitcoin future price, anticipating crypto, Bitcoin in particular, to reach 10 million, following what he describes the most significant economic crash in history. The future bull market will significantly benefit investors in gold, silver, and Bitcoin, believes Rich Dad. He attributes the upcoming economic turbulence to the U.S. being the largest debtor nation in history and the declining faith in traditional currency, aka U.S. dollars. Now, in the rant, Kiyosaki emphasizes that after the anticipated crash, gold, silver, and Bitcoin are expected to surge to new all-time highs and advises patience, young grasshopper, suggesting the rewards for those who remain steadfast in their investments will be substantial. Preach. Kiyosaki consistently voiced skepticism about traditional financial instruments, including even the Bitcoin ETFs, preferring to hold physical gold, silver, and Bitcoin. It's because he knows how corrupt the government is and that they can take that ish away from you in the form of an ETF. Trust that. His long-standing criticism extends to the Fed's monetary policy, viewing the dollar as fake currency, aka tulip mania, aka monopoly money, advocating for investments in tangible assets. Tell him that is why he criticized traditional financial products for not truly representing the underlying asset, drawing attention to issues like overselling. So there you go, yo. What are your thoughts on his 10 milli Bitcoin price prediction from Rich Dad? Holla. Now for our featured story of the day. Forbes just released an article entitled "Trump Sparks Talks of Bitcoin as a Strategic reserve assets. So let's break this article down, as well as the latest feedback from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, who called for a global hash war many years ago before it became popular. So check this out. This is the article, again, published by Forbes, the headline I just read to you. Here's Mr. Trump. Do you think he would actually make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset? I want to know your thoughts, because we shared a quote the other day. Do I have it pulled up? I don't. I'll share it later here in a bit. So let's first read the story, then I'll read some of the feedback from Max Keiser. So here's what he said. We all want the remaining Bitcoin to be made in the United States of America. Let's go. In the Truth Social post last month, Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump expressed strong support for the biddies. In the same post, he recognized the geopolitical significance of the world's largest crypto, warning that any policy that seeks to hamper Bitcoin only helps China and Russia. Trump's statement not only positioned him as the first pro-Bitcoin nominee of a major political party, it also put a spotlight on discussions about classifying Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. I don't know how accurate that statement is, because I do recall Ram Sawani, who was running as Republican, who's very pro-Bitcoin as well. In fact, many believe that it's him in Trump's ear telling him what to do with all the Bitcoin-related ish. But let me know your thoughts. Also, we had Robert Kennedy Jr., who is now running independent, who was initially running as a Dem, who's also pro-Bitcoin, at least according to the speeches, and also speaking at the major Bitcoin conferences. I even hear Trump is going to be speaking at Nashville, which would be major, obviously, as it's the largest Bitcoin event. And I think he's going to get all the support of everyone in crypto, because we all know Biden is very anti-crypto. Hence, Mr. Gensler, Senator Warren, Janet Yellen, and the rest of the three stooges, as Kiyosaki refers to them out as, but I digress. These discussions are gaining traction in policy circles thanks to Bitcoin-friendly political leaders. Former presidential candidate Ram Sawani, who I was just referencing, for example, has been advising Trump on Bitcoin and digital assets since January. I assume that. I didn't even know if that was legit, but there you have it. Ram Sawani staked a unique position in the final weeks of his campaign by proposing that the dollar be backed by a basket of commodities that in time could include the king crypto, BTC. Ram Sawani's plan echoed a similar proposal from independent presidential candidate Kennedy Jr., in which a small percentage of the U.S. Treasury bills would be backed by hard currency, by gold, silver, platinum, or Bitcoin. The intent behind Ram Sawani and Kennedy's proposals is to curb inflation by pegging the dollar to deflationary assets that maintain their value over time. We also have Senator Cynthia Lummis, the crypto queen of Congress, who is another proponent of using Bitcoin to better the nation's finances. In February of 2022, she suggested that the Federal Reserve diversify the $40 billion in foreign currencies that it held on the balance sheet by adding the biddies. And she continues to see benefits in holding the digital currency as part of the nation's financial portfolio. And after Trump's post alluding to the growing political importance of Bitcoin, I asked Senator Lummis for her perspective on discussions around Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. Senator Lummis appeared to be keen on the idea. In her own words, Bitcoin is an incredible store of value, and I certainly see the benefits of our country diversifying its investments. Now we have Trump, Lummis, Kennedy, and Ram Sawani, who represent the new crop of policymakers who are open to the potential of Bitcoin as a tool of economic statecraft. Whose name was not included in that? Biden. Womp womp. So how would the United States leverage a digital commodity like Bitcoin to strengthen its own fiscal health and geopolitical position? Let's discuss it. According to the author of this article, they reached out to Alex Thorne, the head of firm-wide research at Galaxy Digital, and Thorne written extensively on the impact that Bitcoin could have on the global financial system, and he sees merit in the idea of Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. Quoting him here, as a global decentralized commodity money with sound properties, Bitcoin will undoubtedly play a growing role in geopolitical and international trade. What started as hobbyists using their home computers has elevated into industrial manufacturing, institutional portfolios, and corporate balance sheets. There is every reason to believe that the Bitcoin network layer will expand further to include nation states. Can you say Bitcoin global hash wars, family? Here is the logic behind Thorne's thinking. As with any scarce commodity, be it oil, gold, or rare earth minerals, countries often engage in fierce competition with each other to secure the lion's share of the resources. We refer to this in Bitcoin as game theory. And as one of the scarcest commodities on planet Earth, there's little reason to believe Bitcoin would be any different, especially if its value continues to grow, as many financial experts expect. And as case in point, Jurrien Timmer, Fidelity's director of global macro, described Bitcoin as exponential gold, where to achieve parity with gold's current market cap. A single Bitcoin would be approximately 700,000 per coin, or more than 10 times its worth today. The potential of such stratospheric returns makes it all the more enticing for sovereigns to accumulate Bitcoin now instead of waiting for other countries to do it first. Despite the lack of any coherent Bitcoin strategy, the U.S. currently leads the digital gold rush. It is the largest nation-state holder of Bitcoin, having seized the bulk of its Bitcoin stack from illicit actors over the last decade. It's just hilarious that the reason they're the largest hodler or hoarder of Bitcoin is because they've seized it. It's just funny to me. The country also boasts that the most network nodes, hash rate, and Bitcoin mindshare of any other country in the world. So if Trump were to win in November, the nation would have its first pro-Bitcoin president. These factors place the United States in a strong position to become the MicroStrategy of nations. That's powerful. Should that be a policy priority for a future administration? And of course, we have case studies which are already massively successful, with El Salvador adopting Bitcoin, first publicly, or I should say, MicroStrategy, the first publicly traded company to adopt Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset and put it on the balance sheet, was back in 2020. Then the following year, El Salvador with Bukele, they made Bitcoin country in El Salvador, making it legal tender. And naturally, there has been phenomenal growth with both those scenarios. So there you have it. Now I want to share some of the feedback from Max Kaiser. He tweeted, as predicted back in 2019, when I coined the term global hash war to describe nations switching from trying to ban Bitcoin to hoarding Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. I was the lone voice at the time. Now it's common knowledge. Note, Jason Lowery plagiarized the idea some years later. He's referring to the book that Jason published. Now, he also recently tweeted, and, I find Max not only awesome, but he's hilarious. He's also a comedian, because you got to keep in mind, I shared a clip when he actually opened up for Jerry Seinfeld. It was like a black and white clip back in the days. Max, very young. But anyways, he wrote this, and it's hilarious. While Trump was still getting peed on by Russian hookers, we were already winning the global Bitcoin hash war. El Salvador is Bitcoin country, and you got to give it to him, because El Salvador is the first Bitcoin country. Can America follow in its footsteps? It can. Is it the most likely scenario? I don't know. You let me know your thoughts, fam. How do you think this will likely play out? And shout out to the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser. So there you have it, family. Do you think they will, America that is, Trump, make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset if he wins the presidency? Let me know in the live poll, and in a little bit we'll end the poll, read the results. Welcome everyone to the live Q&A segment of the stream. Happy 4th of July. This is an Independence Day, Bitcoin Freedom Day special episode. I want to play for you now another version of the song, or the second part of the song, which we didn't even get to play yet. So let's freaking go. Shout out to everyone in the chat, everyone who reposted this, anyone who smashed those likes to show your support. We salute you, appreciate you, thank you. God bless America, God bless Bitcoin, and God bless Nipsey. God bless each and every one of you.